Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're looking at a parts kit today. So this is the Tippmann 98 Platinum Series Master Parts Kit. So this is a giant parts kit. Really, if you have like a whole fleet of guns, this would be great, something great to service those guns. Let's just go ahead and look and see what's in here, what you're going to get in this little kit right here. So first thing I'm seeing over here is you got a hammer. Now this hammer and this hammer are different from each other, so don't mix these up when you're trying to put them into a gun. This one right here is designed for the ACT version right here. You can see that this slot that's cut along the top is cut all the way down, and it's actually got a little spot inside there for the linkage arm, which is this one right here. You can see how it's got the bend in it, and that's going to be your ACT version right there. And that's so this can slide, so you don't get that anti-chop technology. If we look at this hammer, or they call this rear bolt, I believe, you can see that where it's going to lock in is just solid right there. There's no slot cut down for this to be able to slide back and forth, creating that anti-chop system inside the gun. We've got our anti-chop springs right there. We've got spring guides over on this side. We've got main springs right in there. We've got power, well, here's our linkage arms. We've got power tubes with the valve inside of them. So this has a complete valve already in it. It's not in the right spot, so you would definitely need to slide this all the way in to make sure that it's seated properly. But you get power tubes and valves inside there. I think that's a great little thing to get in there. What do we got in here? I'm going to slide this closer to my face so I can see it a little bit better. So we've got some sears inside here for electronic frames. We've got velocity adjuster screws right here. So the screw that you turn to adjust velocity, people lose those all the time. Body screws, cocking knobs, the back of the trigger plate right here. So there's a little spring on the back of the trigger. That's right there. Looks like we've got some latch springs. So on the 98, there's a latch. It's actually this piece right here, which when you don't throw it into this other bin that's right here. Come on out of here. There we go. So the 98 has the feed neck adapter that folds down, and when you fold it up, it clicks and latches into place. This is the latch that it latches against. But this little horseshoe shaped spring right here, not this green one, which I believe is the sear spring. They're all tangled together in here. Here we go. This is the little spring right there that makes that latch work. And then we've got these springs, which are sear springs. We've got the insert, which goes inside of the hammer assembly right there, so that your spring doesn't wobble all around when it's inside there. We've got some back caps. We've got the bumper that's in there. They used to use a big O-ring, but now they just use this smaller little bumper right here. This goes around the mainspring so that when the hammer travels backwards, it doesn't smash against the back of the gun. That's your bumper right there. This is for the line coming up from the ASA to the valve where it comes together. That's your adjustment or your plate right there. Some more screws. This is your vertical screw in the front. Some nuts. We got some striker O-rings. We got pins right here. This is for like where your sear rocks and your trigger rocks inside of there. These are the pins that you're going to use. This is the latch itself. This piece, we talked about the thing that latches on the feed neck. Come on now. So the feed neck at the front of it has this piece that sticks off of it, and when it rotates up, it goes clip and it clicks onto this thing at the front. So another one of those, if you happen to lose that, it's a good thing to have. More screws, more pins, some various O-rings through the gun, detents. You can't have enough of these ball detents right here. You'll go through these pretty quick, especially if you store your gun for a while, because when the gun is at rest, if you shoot the gun and leave it like that in your bag, like uncocked and forward, the bolt, when it comes forward, so the bolt rides on the the power tube assembly. It rides right here, back and forth. So it's going to be forward when you've shot the gun with no air in it. Now when it's forward, it's going to rest on the detent, and it's going to just force it down like that. And if it sits in your bag for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, before the next time you play, the whole time it's forcing the detent down. Now the one purpose of the detent is to keep extra balls from feeding into your gun, so only one ball at a time. And it does that by sitting up like this. That was probably easier to show you on this camera. You can see that, and you can see how it's perfectly formed to hold one ball right there. Right? So when the ball drops down the feed neck, it drops down into the gun, and then it's held in place like this. When the bolt comes through, it pushes that ball forward and then releases air and shoots it out. Now, if the gun has been sitting for a long time and this thing has been forced down, over time, it will naturally just want to stay like that. So this will just be collapsed down. You'll go out to shoot your gun a month later, whatever happens to be. The ball drops in and there's nothing to keep it from rolling forward. So this ball drops in and it rolls a little bit forward, and then another ball comes in and it rolls a little bit forward, and another ball comes and it finally stays right here. You go to pull the trigger and the gun tries to shoot 3 balls at a time, you're going to cause a mess. It's going to blow up, no fun. So with Tippmann guns, the 98s, the A5s, the X7s, all those guns that use this style ball detent, be very careful with, or just, I shouldn't say be careful, just be aware and inspect the detent every time you go to play to make sure that it's functioning and doing its job. Even in like the TIPX pistol, it's the same way with that one. So just be aware. I think we went over everything inside there. So basically everything you would need to rebuild a gun at this point. It's got everything from hammers, valves, power tubes, screws, O-rings, everything you might want to use inside there. It's a great kit if you're working on a lot of guns at one time, or you've got 1 or 2 for yourself and you just want to make sure you can always keep them running. 98 Platinum Series Master Parts Kit. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.